Mm-mm-mm.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 35 of the PTFooty podcast. I'm your host, Peter. With me here today, we got two guests. We got Hugo that just came back from Portugal,
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back.
Zach again.
Am I really a guest at this point? I'm pretty sure I'm a regular fixture.
Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Then Sam
Hello, everybody.
and Kevin.
I'm back, bitches. Peter put me last today because he's mad at me.
I didn't even notice that. Don't even. Just don't even. Wow. All right. So we're gonna start off with Sporting. And by the way, I didn't watch this game, so I got absolutely no idea what happened. So you guys are gonna have to do all the work on this one. But Moreirense were in front twice. They were winning 2-1 at one point, I believe. And then Sporting turned it around, made it 2-3 with goals from Bas Dost, Alan Ruiz, and Adrian Silva. Rui Patrício was in goal, Schelotto, Coates, Semedo, and Bruno César across the back. William and Adrian Silva, Gelson Martins, and Alan Ruiz, with Brian Ruiz and Bas Dost up front. Let me start with the Sportingista. Sam, what do you think about the game?
I thought for a neutral, if you were a neutral watching it, it was a pretty good game. But for me, I was constantly on the edge of my seat. When Moreirense went a goal up, I thought, it's going to be another one of those days where we're going to struggle to get back in the game. But I was actually really surprised of our performance. I thought Alan Ruiz was, he got voted man of the match as well. I thought he was a clear man of the match in my eyes as well. Bas Dost obviously scoring like he does in the majority of his games. I believe that's 17 and 17. Correct me if I'm wrong. What else? So that I think his name was Ousmane Dramé for Moreirense, former Sporting player. Dramé, sorry.
Yeah.
He had a very good game against us. It's typical that it would be him out of all people. And for the first goal, I thought Bruno César and Patricio should have done better. And on the subject of that as well, I believe that Patricio should be dropped for the next game. He's had a few shaky performances.
Really?
I believe Beto has had quality performances as he's come on as a rotation. The one thing more I want to say about this game as well, I thought Podence should start instead of Brian Ruiz as well. Brian Ruiz has lost his mojo. I don't think he's ever going to get it back. So we should give an opportunity to the youngster.
Are you at all surprised that Podence is getting all these chances? Not from his ability perspective, but from his manager perspective,
Well, yeah, because I don't think there's much options. We got Joel Campbell, but apparently he's injured. So if that is true, I expect Joel Campbell to maybe start over Brian Ruiz or take Podence's spot on the bench. So I don't know.
Anybody else here surprised?
About what, Podence?
No, about the fact that JJ is actually playing him, not his ability.
He's not really playing him per se. He gave him an opportunity, and I think he deserves more of a chance. To be honest.
Zach, you were gonna say stuff
About Podence?
I
mean, I don't think he's as good of a prospect as the other ones, but I mean, I
disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's just my personal opinion. I mean, when you look at Mateus and Gelson especially, I've got a bit of knowledge in Sporting's U19 side, but I think that I think Podence is a good player, and he didn't really drop the ball against Porto, so I definitely think there's some room to build with Podence.
I agree.
All right. Did anybody else watch the game?
Yep,
I did.
Okay, what are your guys' thoughts on it?
Who wants to go first? Should I
You can go first. Yeah.
Well, first half, Sporting were really poor. And as Sam said, the first goal, Rui Patricio and Bruno César should have done much better. There was just clear lack of communication. Ruben Semedo has been poor. I still don't understand why JJ does not play Paulo Oliveira when he's clearly Sporting's best centre back. I think everybody agrees with me on that.
I don't think a lot of people agree with you on that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Paulo Oliveira is much better than Ruben Smears. Let's leave it at that.
I agree. I just don't see many people agreeing.
Well, they're silly.
Can you repeat that?
No, the second half, Sporting were much better. Alan Ruiz did have a very good game. I did think Podence changed the game though. As soon as he came on, he hit the post, and then Bas Dost scored from the rebound. Yeah, they played really well. I do want to hear your guys' opinions though, because when Adrian scored the goal, before that, there is a situation where he stamps on a Moreirense player, and some commentators on TV were saying that it could have been a red, but I'll leave it to see what you guys think. But yeah, Sporting did play well second half. That's what I say, but maybe the third goal wouldn't have happened.
In all honesty, I didn't see that. So, but if you say it, I believe you, but I just didn't see it happen at the time. If you could link a picture, if anyone who could link a picture, it'd be great.
There is a picture, but I need to try and find it, because I did see it.
I don't remember that.
I think it's a red, personally.
Oh, you saw it. There we go then.
Yeah.
Was it studs up?
It wasn't a tackle. It was just a stomp. He just like.
Oh.
Yeah, just put like.
He literally stomped on his ankle. Like that's every time I see it, it's nasty. I don't know. That's got to be a red for me. Especially because like Ederson was sent off. And this was much worse than what Ederson did last weekend. So, yeah, he should have been sent off. Great player though.
All right, that is interesting. So is there anyone? Sam, maybe you want to apologize to Alan Ruiz?
Not yet. Not yet, but him. Sorry, no, you just rephrase that. Seoul Sporting was the one saying that Alan Ruiz is making him eat his words, and he's doing the same to me at the moment. But 2 games is not good enough for 8.5 million. So if he has a solid rest of the season, then fair enough. I'll apologise, but I've got nothing to apologise for just yet, Peter.
All right. Do you think that this win was absolutely crucial to stay in the title race?
If we're still in it, but I think it was a crucial win to the qualification of the Champions League, is what I'll say.
Ridiculous.
I don't think you can call them in the. I don't think they're still in the title race. I wouldn't say that they're in it. I mean, 9 points. I don't know.
10.
10? No, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 from Porto and 10 from Benfica.
Oh yeah. 10. Yeah, 10 points.
So yeah, it's a big margin.
That's a huge margin.
Right, no need to rub it in, guys. Come on.
If it was a second division, you'd be all set. You might have a chance.
Oh my god, yeah, especially now that Academic are third again. So.
I mean, last year, like Madrid, we were up with like 13 points by April, and Madrid almost came back and won it. So, I guess you can't count them out, but I don't see anything in the Sporting team that can really, do anything.
No, especially if they keep struggling, because eventually they're going to drop points.
Yeah.
So, unless you guys want to say anything else about this game, I guess you kind of just breezed past it.
Yeah, I do.
Go right ahead, Kevin.
All right. So, from what I saw, Moreirense were obviously parking the bus. Sporting were attacking pretty much the whole game. They did have a much better second half, but I thought it was a bit unfair that they were down 2-1. That first goal from Moreirense was a big miscommunication. That's something that Sporting has to work on. Their defense has just been terrible, and it showed against Porto, because Porto only had like 2 or 3 chances pretty much all game, and they capitalized on 2 of them. And the defense on the first goal from Suarez was like asleep. He was by himself. And the second one, I can't really fault them too much, because it was a quick counter, and Suarez just outran Semedo, I believe it was. And he went around
both of them, actually. Yeah,
all right,
he outran Coates and Semedo, yeah.
Yeah, but like it goes to show that like and then this even on the second goal from Moreirense, like Patricio, like I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
Mm.
It's like he wanted to go grab the ball, but he needs to be more aggressive. If you're gonna go for the ball and you can't go catch it in a situation where it's a 50-50 ball, you got to either come out and kick it, which would kind of be risky because then you could be risking a penalty, or come out and just punch it away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're risking an injury also on a 50-50 ball, but you won't be giving up a penalty. And, like I said, I thought it was a little unfortunate and a little unfair that Sporting were down because they were the better team. Second half, they came out and they were determined to turn the game around. And I knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. And I told Sam this. Me and Sam were talking, and I told him I think Sporting might win. They deserve at least a tie. I know that.
Yeah.
So, I just thought that it was tough from if I was a Sporting fan, like from a neutral perspective, it was a great game. But from a Sporting fan's perspective, like that's just it was tough to watch. You know what I mean? I was putting myself in their shoes, so
You could do that? I didn't know you could do that.
as hard as it is, yeah. Just for that game though. But and my favorite, like I'm telling you right now, my like out of every team,
Yeah.
well, not every team, but like one of my favorite prospects right now is Podence.
Mm.
Like he is really, really good, and I think that if Sporting had held on to him, I like him better than Mateus. But let me tell you something: if Sporting had held on to Podence, and he had a good preseason too, if they had held on to him, like this season could have went differently for them because if you think about it, like they had Gelson on one side and Podence on the other. Like that's a dangerous combination to have on each wing, and then you have Bas Dost in the middle to just take in crosses. So I think that was a mistake by Sporting, and I still am surprised that Yuri is still out on loan too. I think he could have made a big impact. You could have had Adrian Silva and Yuri work the midfield with Turtle William holding the midfield.
Yo,
So
call me stupid, but I think they should have recalled Yuri first than Podence. At least from what you knew from both of those guys. I think that Yuri earned his opportunity first, and he still hasn't gotten it.
Mm.
Agree with me?
Mm.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm a bit 50-50.
I mean, Podence hasn't shown, like, you think about the productivity that he had in 6 months with Moreirense, doesn't compare to the year that he had with Aroca and the half a season he's had with Boa Vista.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's my opinion. You want to weigh in on this?
No, I agree with you. I think Yuri deserves a chance. He's been brilliant. He was loaned out to someone else before Aroca as well.
Moreirense.
No. Before Aroca,
Yeah,
he
it
was
was-
loaned out
oh.
3 times.
Yeah, Moreirense, bro.
No, it was.
Aroca,
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Aroca,
yeah.
Moreirense.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was Aroca, Moreirense, Boa Vista.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's a
Because I remember he scored against Benfica at every single club he was loaned out against. And I was really angry. Like, the guy always scores against us. Like, when he had that free kick in the Stade de Luge, when we drew 3-3, I was like, oh my God, this bastard is going to score. And he did. But
He
yeah,
did and
he's
assisted twice.
he's a brilliant player. I can admit that. I have no problem admitting that. I think he deserves a chance, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if we're set on this, we move on.
basically,
Okay, before I move on, though, I want to talk about a different topic that we normally don't bring up Braga up, but I'm not sure if you guys know about the controversial call that happened in that game as well.
Oh, right.
Right,
About the
so
ball going in.
yeah, it was proven yesterday that the ball went in. They did like some 3D stuff and whatever.
Oh, did they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was on Sick. I think it
Oh,
was
right.
with that idiot,
Well, Rui Santos,
Yeah,
that donkey.
yeah, but it was just to prove that these mistakes are just accumulating, and again, it was a crucial goal for Braga that wasn't given, and at this point, it just furthers up that our referees, something has to happen. So I just brought that up again because of it. Were you the only one that saw this with me? I don't think anybody else saw it.
I saw the game. I was watching that game. I wouldn't blame the referee. I'd blame the
Linesman,
assistant, the linesman. Yeah,
every time.
But
yeah,
we need goal line technology. That's what we need.
I don't
That's
understand.
all I can say.
I don't understand why we have goal line technology in the League Cup, but we don't have it in the league.
They're just testing it out still, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because I know they had. I know they had it for the
sad, though.
Taça da Liga final when we beat Marítimo 6-2, I think.
And they still have it. And they still had it this season because they showed the goal line technology when Moreirense tied the game up. So I don't understand why the league is using it for the League Cup but not for the Campeonato. I mean, why?
Case of a voucher situation.
Case of a what?
A voucher situation.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think you remember Bahia getting a ball from each side of his own goal.
Dude, that never went in. Never went in.
Did.
No, it didn't.
Yes,
they
it did.
They did a computer technology thing, and the ball never completely crossed.
Yes,
it's so hard. How are you gonna figure? It's such a hard angle to even tell. Like,
whatever though.
Peterson is just being biased, like he always is.
Of course I am. I was just trying to make the point that we need goal line technology. It doesn't have to do with vouchers.
What was it? Petit's shot from 30 yards. That definitely went in. Come on.
Yeah, that was a total frango.
That went in.
Yeah, but that was beside the point. I just wanted to bring that up because of the referees and these mistakes are still accumulating. Now we move on to what was probably the most interesting game of the week, or it should have been. Guimarães lost 2-0 to Porto with Soares and Jota scoring. It's Casillas in goal, Maxi, Felipe Marcano, and Alex Telles across the back. Danilo, Herrera, and Andre in the midfield. Brahimi, Andre Silva, and Soares. Kevin, what did you think of the game?
What did I think of the game? Let's see. Very tough. It was a very tough first half. I'm not a big fan of this 4-4-2 formation that he has going on. I like to see the traditional 4-3-3 that we have been doing the last couple of seasons. But yeah, like it was a decent first half by Porto. Actually, to be honest, it was a bit poor. Second half was much better. I thought we had a very good game in the second half. Soares gets the goal again. That makes it 3 goals in 2 games, which he basically paid himself off just in these 2 matches. I know it's only 2 games, but I think that he could be the striker that we needed. Since Andrés Silva has been a bit inconsistent. And Felipe Pedro. Yeah, God, what a waste of money. And I would rather, the money that we wasted on him, I'd rather put it towards somebody like Chucky Lozano.
Lozano, yeah, you got to say that.
Yeah.
Unless people are going to think of Servi or whatever.
Oh, they're gonna take a Chucky the doll, but
there you go.
But it's serving Lozano, who was recently linked with Benfica. But I'll be freaking hell bent if Benfica gets him. Anyway, back to the Porto game.
Porto have the Mexican dynasty, they've got all the.
Yeah, I think that Porto would have the better chance of landing him. Honestly, if they had the money to do so, and he had to pick between both, I think he would pick Porto.
We have Raul though.
Look at how many Mexicans.
Oh,
He's gonna go with Raul. He's gonna go with Raul.
The 20 million Wonder Boy.
Oh my God! Don't even.
22 million. Sorry.
I know. Don't even.
You thought Tapata was a waste of money? Holy shit! I think I got ripped off.
I mean, at least Raul's scoring. At least he scores goals. Crucial
important goals, more like.
Yeah. So at least there's that. But Kevin.
I mean,
you were talking.
All right. So the Suarez goal was a very nice goal. He was onside. Not much to argue there. Then came in Jota, and I'm such a big fan of Jota, and I think that he should be one of the starters. I think we should go back to the 4-3-3. Although the 4-4-2 has been working, so I'm kind of like against the fence. But like when we play in the 4-4-2, it's like we're asking to play defense and hit on the counter, which is so like not like Porto.
That's dumb though, but that's not like how Benfica plays with our 4-4-2.
Yeah, but we're not Benfica.
Exactly. It has to do with the manager though. Like
Exactly. We're a dynasty or not. So
what is this? The pink?
I'm just kidding. Within the
Okay.
last 30 years, Porto have been the best Portuguese team. There's no denying that.
Yeah, but we were discussing the tactics, not what happened.
Yeah.
So.
I know, but I'm just
I
saying.
was just trying to tell you that from my point of view, the 4-4-2 isn't a bad decision. I think it's a great decision because it's my favorite tactic. But
Not for me.
It definitely is your favorite tactic. I mean,
I hate it.
you hate it?
Yeah,
Well-
I think the 4-3-3 is most suitable for Porto. Playing a
it
game.
is.
I'm not sure about that. You guys don't have many good midfielders, honestly. I mean, Andre.
Yeah, but we have good wingers. That's why the 4-4-2 doesn't work for us with the
That's
midfielders.
bold.
Well,
That
why
is
don't you just
bold.
do a 4-2-3-1 then?
That would work, but I prefer the 4-3-3. You got Corona, you got Brahimi, you got João Teixeira, you got Jota, you got Otavio.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Although,
So
yeah,
Porto were built around the 4-3-3 formation. That's why I
Exactly.
think that the 4-4-2 will never work. You look back at past years, like the past 10 years, Benfica has always been a 4-4-2 team. Porto has always been a 4-3-3 team. It has always been that way. That's why I think it doesn't work for you guys. I don't think it's like the
But-
tactic that it sucks. Yeah, go on, Zach.
here's what I think. I feel like if Otavio had better end product, they would be playing a 4-2-3-1 more, and whereas like now they're calling for a 4-3-3 because they feel like he doesn't contribute enough defensively, so they want to stick him on the wing. That's just my take, and so I think that for that reason, even though at this point I'm not so sure Otavio starts with Brahimi and Jota, but if you're gonna play him, I would personally play him in a 4-2-3-1. But you gotta it's very hard to execute that system correctly, especially with Oliver in the pivot. I mean, does that leave you weak defensively? You know?
got Danilo.
Yeah, of course you got Danilo, but I don't know.
And if you really wanted to, you can have Ruben Neves.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You could play them together, kind of like a Pirlo Vidal type situation where Juve used to have.
Even though they're both kind of prototypical holding midfielders.
They're different, exactly.
Yeah, but for me, he's better than Herrera. So yeah.
I mean, everybody's better than Herrera. So.
Oh my god, I can't stand that guy.
Felipe
No, why
Augusto is better than Herrera.
Felipe Augusto's
Oh my
great,
god,
don't
I
even.
dread when he plays. Like he's a big body and he could play midfield, and he screwed us against Benfica, so I'll never forgive
I
him for
used
that.
to like Herrera. I
The
actually used to like him.
The
Peter, you
fact
should
that
like
he's
him more than anyone else.
just the fact that he's Porto's captain is what baffles me.
Him and Marcano, it's just
No,
ridiculous.
Marcano has been playing well.
Yeah, Marcano's
to,
alright.
to be fair.
But
Marcano's been
still,
good now.
Danilo Imo should be there, the captain, or give it to Casillas or
I
something.
think one thing that Nuno Espírito Santo has done well is Porto defend much better now. Last year,
they do.
last year that's why Casillas was doing so many mistakes because the defense was not good enough. This year,
He was putting a lot of one-on-one situations.
yeah, and this year, like when he conceded against Aroca in 10 seconds in, remember that?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was the joke. The whole defense just stood there, didn't do anything. But this season, Porto's defense much better, and I do admire for Porto playing very good at the back now, and that's why Guimarães didn't. I don't remember Guimarães having one clear, proper good chance.
No, they didn't.
So yeah.
So I thought of the game. I thought Guimarães never really, threatened Porto. I thought it was like an even game, but neither team really had a lot of chances. Porto scored on their opportunities and basically killed off the game with that first goal by Soares. I felt like Pedro Martins lost that game with the substitutions that he made as well. I thought that he was stupid to sub in. I can't remember the guy's name, but the midfielder.
Was it Bernard?
But they were so
Bernard?
short-handed.
No,
Bernard.
no, it was the guy that were in for Bernard, I think.
Oh right, okay. Because I didn't watch the game. I only saw the highlights. I was working that day.
Yo, Kevin, you gotta help me out here. Who was the guy that went in for Guimarães? You remember?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, thank you.
I don't pay attention to the other team subs.
Really? Okay. But
Yeah, but you know who I
anyway,
think they should have. You know who I think they should have played though.
uh,
To be honest, I think they should have called up Tyler Boyd.
he's not. He's not really in the team. I think he might be like a B team player. I'm not quite sure about
But
that.
his first game that he played for Guimarães, I think it was last season or the season before.
I believe he's
played-
good.
He's played such a good game against Porto, and he's in Guimarães B. But you know, Porto won, but you know, Guimarães were depleted. They didn't have Lord Marega.
They didn't have two players. It doesn't like I felt that
Two
he
crucial
lost the
players.
game. Yeah, but I felt like he lost the game as soon as he subbed off Rafinha.
Yeah.
Rafinha is one of my favorite wingers in Portugal right now, and the dude is great. You should never sub him off. They lost the game when he went off the pitch because he was the only player that really tried creating chances.
I
Yeah,
really
How did
like this
Salish play?
Guimarães team, though.
I'll get onto that. What were you gonna say, Zach?
I like this Guimarães team. I think it's got a lot of young talent. I mean, Hernani is great.
Yeah, Nani's goat.
Mensah. A lot of
But
these
not has
players
been
have-
terrible this year, by the way. So you can't really.
Yeah, a lot of
There's
these players have Champions League experience too. I think.
Who?
Well, Hernani has played in Champions League for Olympiacos now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and yeah, and Mensah has done it at international quality. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good team, and they're fifth, I think. So
Yeah,
a
they're
good
not
return,
bad.
You know?
Bundesbad as well.
Bundesliga, yeah, very good.
They sold that João Pedro to LA Galaxy.
Yeah,
He
I was gonna
okay.
say that. That was
I
a big
didn't.
loss.
I didn't rate him last season. He was having a good
he was
season
this
this year.
season. Yeah, this season very good.
Yeah. Salish played well.
Did he?
It was
I did.
funny because Freitas Wolf wanted him subbed off every time. He was like, Salish is coming off now.
Yeah,
And
well.
he didn't. And then right after that, Salish is coming off now. And it never came off. I felt like he did his job.
I was
He
hoping he was going to score 35 yard.
He had as many shots as Porto did the whole game. So there's that.
Wasn't there? Look at me, always trying to find a way to put the team that won down, like Sporting with Adrian's red card. Wasn't there probably a penalty that Maxi Preda pulled someone's shirt in the area?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a penalty, but it was like really early.
What?
On.
The shoulder to shoulder?
No,
it wasn't. No,
I just saw a picture. I saw a picture of.
It was with a thing, I believe.
I just saw a picture of a shirt being pulled
Yeah, that's
in
a
the
picture,
box.
man. You got to see the video. You can't go by a picture.
Yeah, but the shirt's being pulled clearly, isn't it?
Yeah, but you got to watch the whole play.
No,
I can be grabbing.
it
I can
is.
grab your shirt for a split second. Doesn't mean that it's a foul. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it can stop you from headering the ball, innit?
Just like Peter with the Edison thing. It shows Edison with his freaking cleats up the guy's balls practically, and Peter's like, it's only a picture.
I still
Who's
don't
it?
think. I still don't think it's a red card, but I thought it was the first.
Okay.
But
It's a
we'll
red.
get onto it. We'll get onto it at one point. I think it is a penalty, Hugo. But again, it's like
Didn't-
What was the score
there's
at that
been
point?
worse. 0-0.
It was still 1-0. No, it was still 1-0, I think. It's 1-0.
Oh, was it 1-0?
It could have been
I
1-1, I think.
thought it was early on. Like,
Right.
yeah, probably like 30 minutes in then. Something around
Didn't-
I can see us would have saved it.
Oh, really?
that.
Didn't
It was the
Porto
game
have?
show.
Who did Porto play last week? Before
Before
Guimarães.
Sporting?
No,
They
yeah.
played Sporting.
Don't you remember when they pulled? Oh, it was against Estoril. They pulled André Silva's shirt and he dropped, and everyone's calling for a penalty for that. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Just before the Moreira penalty. That is a penalty, and that's what happened in this Guimarães game.
I
So
don't
I
remember
think-
this play. Honestly, I'm not
Yo,
trying to be.
no.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, I admit Porto had the penalty. They should have got a penalty against Estoril, another one, where they pulled André Silva's shirt and he fell because he would have probably
Yes.
headed it in. That's a penalty. That's why I'm saying about this Maxi one with Guimarães. That was probably the same situation. Guimarães player could have headed the ball and they stopped him from doing it.
Yeah, it was like a long pass into the box, Kevin, and Max is basically in the middle of the just inside of the box, but in the middle of it. It is a hard play. I won't be able to explain it to you, but
I don't really recall, honestly.
I felt like it was, but there's been like way worse calls not called, so it's okay. Kevin, can we finally admit that Andre Silva's just starting to finally run out of gas?
No. Absolutely
Oh
not.
my god.
Oh my god.
Dude,
Every-
it's a different formation. Are you kidding me?
Where did
everyone
he get
goes through
off,
bad
man?
form. Remember.
Why does he keep Suarez on the pitch? Zach, what were you gonna say?
I mean, I just think that Silva is pretty limited, and I do think he's been running out of form. I thought this form was a blip. I mean, he's had a good season, but I'm not sure if he starts on against Juve. I mean, what if maybe start Aquino? It's interesting because he's been running out of gas in my opinion.
That's why he keeps Suarez on the pitch. He's got a higher engine than him, and to be honest, I don't think Andre Silva's been doing anything to deserve the start at this
Yeah,
point.
so why don't you just play Aquino up front and
Otavio behind him.
Jota or Otavio and Brahimi? You know,
Mm.
what about that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different formation. That's why it's like this.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely risky.
I think he's been running out of gas for a couple of weeks now, but whatever.
No.
I want to talk Layun.
Okay.
Does he go? Does he stay? What do you do if you're Porto, Kevin?
You got to keep him. Anything happens to Maxi, you're screwed on the right back side. So you got to keep him. I know it's a chance to make some money, but it's a very, very high risk, and I don't think it's worth taking.
What do you guys
It'd be a
think?
lot of money. It'd be a lot of money.
And you got to think about the player's perspective as well. If he wants that move to China or something.
Yeah. Who else have Porto sold to China? I forgot.
Well, no one, but
Nobody?
Jackson Martinez eventually went there.
Yeah. Martinez left. I find that hard to believe, honestly, because like
How
don't
does
know.
he go from a top class striker to just going to the Chinese
I think he just
league
stopped
in 2
caring.
years?
Honestly, I mean, maybe he just stopped caring. I mean, it's tough, honestly. Does Porto have any good academy left backs then that can, like?
Yeah.
They had a guy that they bought in
Inacio.
from Santos, was it? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
São Paulo.
Okay, São Paulo, but still, kind of very
It's risky
green.
for me because I can see Pereira getting injured soon. So yeah, I think that's too risky. Especially you're in a title fight. I mean, this is a real top class title fight. Porto can win this thing. So, no amount of money. I mean, you can sell him this summer. You know.
Unless the player wants to move.
Yeah, of course. And Alayun has barely played this season.
That's
Or
why
especially like recently. Yeah.
exactly that's why I'm making the question, because at this point you think I'm rotting in the bench at Porto. I can move to China, get loads of money,
Yeah.
and start. Why don't I do that?
Lyon's an effective player in attacking. I mean, he's not playing much, and I mean Tellez isn't the best left back in the world, but so I can see his point of view. But
Yeah.
for me, I would stay and try to break Benfica's dynasty.
Nice,
It is a dynasty.
Nice
like
choice
3 in
of
a row.
words. I like it. I like it.
3 in a row.
All right. Can we move on to Oliver Torres now?
Oh boy.
Sure.
Remember, we talked about this last week. We got everybody's opinion, both of you, Kevin and Diogo. So I'm gonna ask you both straight out. Kevin, you first. Is he worth the 20 million?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Terrible deal, decent deal, thoughts?
I mean, he's a good player. He's helped us out, no doubt about it. He's been huge for us, but 20 million? I mean, he's better than Embula. And
Mbula.
The Ferrari.
Mbula's getting a bad deal at.
Mbule, whatever you want to call him. So I think it's a bit overpriced. I think that like 13 to 15 million probably would have been the most. I know Jota has a price tag of like 22, which there's no way in hell we're getting Jota and Oliver.
We're paying that. Jorge Mendes.
There's no way.
So
I think this is all a big, Jorge Mendes move. I smell it.
what do you mean we're gonna get him for 22 million? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I think that money is not going where it's supposed to be.
I highly disagree. I highly thought that's going to happen.
Do you believe
Where's the money, though?
Benfica, do you agree that Benfica deal with Raul? Do you actually think that Benfica paid 22 million for Raul? Behind that, I just don't trust deals with Atletico.
You're saying
Madrid.
that this is like all a Ponzi scheme, right? Or
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of
we've seen what
murkiness
George
in-
Mendes did. I'm pretty sure you saw the graphic that people made of, like Filipe Augusto, for example. He went from like Rio Ave to Valencia, back to Rio Ave to Benfica, and then you had like players like
Braga,
Pizzi.
Braga as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's honestly disgusting how many like players Porto have out on loan, though. You know, like off the top of my head,
Mhm.
Pereira, Martins Indy. I don't know how many like have like buy options. Top scorer in Portugal. You know, so I think some of these would definitely do a job in Porto's current team. But I don't think Oliver for 20 million is that bad of a deal because I think he's a top prospect. I don't know if Porto are actually paying that much for him or what, but he's definitely one of the best in the first team right now. I would really only say that maybe Jota has higher potential than him.
yeah.
So
That's a lot of money, though. For the 20 million, I would give
It
the
is.
20 million plus whatever we pay for the Patra for Irving Lozano.
So
well, yeah,
27
but
million.
you've already got a ton of wingers. I mean,
None good. Like, yo, Zach, though, that if you think about this, not even, let's say 15 podcasts ago, we were talking about how Porto had absolutely no wingers whatsoever.
really?
Yeah,
But,
Yeah.
because Brahimi
Brahimi?
wasn't playing at the time.
Yeah.
Otavio had just gotten injured. All you had was Corona and Jota.
Yeah.
It can easily go back to that.
Well, now
At
you
one
got
point.
four top quality wingers. Otavio,
You got Teixeira,
Brahimi,
too.
Yeah, but Teixeira
Jota,
doesn't really play there.
and Tegatito. And on loan, you've got
Hernani.
Yeah,
But-
Hernani, yeah.
But we were discussing it. I'm pretty sure that Kevin, you remember that at one point it felt like Porto had no winger solution.
Yeah, and I remember that. And before we move on from here, I just want to
Yeah, it
give
was-
just 2 seconds my input on the Sporting game against Porto.
Yeah.
I thought that the more justified result for that game should have been a tie or a Sporting win. Porto were piss poor. They had their chances, the 2 chances basically, and they capitalized on it. So, it was, as a Sporting fan, I would be extremely frustrated. Kind of like it would be the deal with Moreirense had they like dropped more points there. But I thought that Sporting played very well and they deserved to at least get a point. Porto just played defense the whole game, and even the ball possession was just ridiculous. So
you win some, you lose some playing that way.
It was an
Remember
ugly
that
win, but I'll take it.
Benfica won 2-0
That's an
away to
ugly win.
Dragão, playing absolutely the same way you did. You remember when Lima scored twice against you? And like Jackson Martinez hit the bar and stuff.
No,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
were
remember stuff
terrible.
like that.
We were terrible that game. We won.
Yeah, we won 2-0. Basically had 2
Yeah.
chances and scored both of them. So you win some, you lose some playing that way. But we already like talked really about it though. Like I felt, and I'm pretty sure everybody felt like Sporting played a good second half, and they were the only team that really got into the game.
You need to play a good 90 minutes though to win a match, not just one
Yeah,
half.
but neither
That's my
team.
opinion.
But Porto didn't even play good 45 minutes.
They
True.
could have come away with 3 points if Casillas wasn't in God mode that night.
It's when
And if they didn't leave Suarez out in the open.
Alan Ruiz came on. He changed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Changed the
he was
game
quality.
completely.
yeah, we said that as well. Then in hindsight, I asked Sam in hindsight if he would have started Alan over Mateus, and he said,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm confused as to why Mateus played, but
Me too.
Yeah, I will never understand that.
But Hugo, we didn't ask you yet. What did you think about this deal with Oliver Torres? Are you with me that any deal done with Atletico should be taken with a pinch of salt?
I hate doing deals with Atletico, but all the
Yeah.
players that we've got from Atletico have been good, apart from Roberto. Let's not talk about Roberto, please. But then you got Salvio, Pizzi, Jimenez, Reyes, all of that. Anyway, Oliver, you see, when he was first at Porto, when he was with Lopetegui, Oliver was playing like a left winger, wasn't he, Kevin? Left winger, isn't he playing more?
Yeah, he was
playing a
more.
bit
He was
winger.
more on the left side of the attack. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really liked him. He was like my favorite player at Porto at the time. I really liked him. Now since he's been a bit more in the midfield, I'm not liking him that much. I really liked him under Lopetegui. I think Lopetegui, yeah, he was probably a rubbish manager, but two things he did good was Oliver playing really well and Casemiro. I think he made Casemiro.
And Ruben Neves, sorry.
Yeah,
I
he put
interrupted.
Ruben Neves, but then he benched him for about 20 games.
But he still was the one that pushed Ruben Neves
Yeah,
into that first
but
team
he
fixture.
he made Oliver play really well and Casemiro, and that's why Real Madrid got him back early from the loan, innit? But yeah, Oliver right now not worth the 20 million. If he was playing like he did with Lopetegui, I would say 20 million, no problem. But yeah, he's still a good player, but just not as good as when he was first on loan, in my opinion,
exactly.
anyway.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And I'm pretty sure Kevin does as well, because he hasn't been all that impressive.
No, he's been good for us. He really did improve. He's been better than what we had last season.
Yeah, but
so.
I mean, compared to his first season, though, I feel like it's such a downgrade, though.
Yeah, I mean, I really miss the team that we had with James and Hulk and Falcao.
But that's
If we had that team today, I know, but and that was Antero Henrique that built that team. So if he became the president of Porto, I wouldn't mind. But
it's so
like I miss that
difficult to
team.
have those players again, though, Kevin, because
Who Hulk was? We can find another Hulk.
But hold up. Zach made like a great point on Twitter. I don't know when it was that there's this random guy. I don't even know who the hell he is, but he said a name of a player, and he said this guy like 5 years ago nobody would notice him, and now he's one of the most wanted young strikers ever now. And
Who's
he's
this?
going for crazy. I don't remember who it is. I can't.
Did I tweet this on Breaking Lines or my?
I think it was on your personal account.
Oh.
It was regarding some random player. I don't know who he is. I think he's a striker from a club, but it doesn't matter. Basically, what he said is true.
A striker from a club. That's going to narrow it down.
That was it right down, huh?
It doesn't matter. I was just saying, that right now the unknown players are known more now than they used to be. So it's harder for Benfica and the
Porto. Mbappe?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell that guy is.
You don't know who Mbappe is? Well,
no.
like
What's his name?
Kylian Mbappe.
Mbappe?
Mbappe.
From Monaco.
Yeah, from Monaco.
Right. He just got another hat trick. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch Monaco because of Leonardo Jardim and Bernardo Silva. Yeah, no, very good player.
He's superb. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I don't know.
I think he's got like 2 hat tricks this season. He's only 17.
Watch him. Yeah. And he's not even a starter, but he always produces when he plays.
Yeah, but there you go. Basically, my.
But how the hell did nobody pick up on Hulk back then, playing in the Japanese league, scoring that many goals in that many games?
Second division as well.
It's the stereotypical thing of it's a tin pot league. He's not going to be good in a big league.
Oh.
Dude,
boy, did he prove everybody wrong?
But isn't it true? I mean,
did he get that 5th goal when it was 5-0 at the Dragão?
I didn't watch that game.
I watched the
first 3. I watched the first 3 and then I just moved away. That was the first and the only Benfica game I never finished.
I hate Hulk so much.
That Falcao goal was nice. Glad we stole him from you.
Supposedly.
Falcao, what a nightmare.
He's a good player, though. Tremendously good player. One that I never hated. I couldn't dislike the man.
I hated Falcao, and I think Falcao's had a terrible. I'm not Falcao. I mean Hulk. I hate Hulk. I think he's had a terrible career as well.
Though.
Yeah,
What is it? What is it? Japan, Port, Zenit, China. Rubbish.
He could have gone to England or anywhere else, and he just went for money.
And he was Brazil's worst player in the World Cup as well. Worst player.
You can basically compare him to Witsel, though, because
he's just been following Villas-Boas everywhere.
Yeah,
he literally has.
But Witsel's been quality as well, and he goes from Standard Liège to Benfica to Zenit and now to
but he's in a different team. Villas-Boas actually, Hulk's actually playing Villas-Boas' team.
I know.
Yeah, that's true.
Villas-Boas in 2 years' time, he'll be in Italy or something. Hulk's gonna go right behind him.
I remember when it seemed like Chelsea were gonna buy both Hulk and Hazard and have
Yeah.
them like on the wings, but that
Tottenham
didn't
as
work.
well.
Who?
Tottenham wanted Hulk as well
Oh
at
yeah,
one point.
yeah. That would have been a good move. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's kind of an anachronism. You know, he's like a strong winger. Like, I mean, and so he doesn't really have. I don't feel like he
He's-
has the 1v1 skills to be like.
he would be able to, if especially how people say that England is a physical league. He just demolished everybody.
Oh, I definitely think he should have gone to England because he's so strong.
So,
He's so
exactly, and he's not a player that isn't skilled. He's skilled enough. I mean, you saw the goal.
Yeah,
I think
that's
people
true.
remember the goal they scored against Benfica.
Yeah. Don't remind us.
I'm just saying. He
No,
proves
please
that
do.
he's got
Top
I
corner
got-
in it. That that
it's been
curling
such,
shot.
It's been such a long time that at
It
this
was-
point,
It's kind of like Robin's goal against Arsenal today.
yeah,
First one. Yeah.
basically that type of goal. So,
But when you go to like Russia or China, you I feel like you stop.
you're ending your career.
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
not-
stop that
yeah.
hunger for success.
That
You're
ambition.
so much better than any one of the players. Than pretty much every single player there. Hulk was like what 26 when he left
Yeah.
for Russia, and now he's in China, which is an even bigger joke. So it's a shame, honestly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But what's what my dad said. Why should they bother working when they can just be in China, be treated like gods, and do nothing at all? You know.
And why should Porto
it's-
care when they can get like big money for him too?
Exactly. So, it's always down to the player and if he loves the sport or if he's just doing it for money. So,
Yeah.
because you can, because there's players. Look, who the hell was the guy that went from Napoli to Southampton? What's the striker's name?
Gabbiadini.
Gabbiadini.
Yeah.
Gabbiadini.
Yeah, didn't he say that he rejected an offer from China to join Southampton? I think he said that it was a very tentative offer that even his grandkids wouldn't even have to work. So, but I guess the love for the sport came first, because there's always time for a move to China, in my opinion. If you're a big name player,
Or MLS.
yeah, but they don't compare though.
Still get that big
China,
payday.
China pays a lot more though.
Yeah, I'm sure he's still getting paid a lot of money in Southampton. So
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes
Yeah, I get what you're saying,
go with with a passion for the sport because you're still getting a good amount of money. It's not like you're not getting paid. So
yeah,
but yeah,
get ya.
just to get back to my initial point, Kevin, I think it's really hard for clubs like Benfica, Porto, and Sporting to grab those hidden gems because normally now they're very known players at this point, and everybody's paying premium for young players. So it's difficult for Porto to ever build a team like James, Hulk, and Falcão. Just
And
like
I get that
Benfica
too
with
because of
Witsel
third-party
and Di
ownership too.
Maria. Yeah, so good point with the third-party ownership. All right, is that it?
Well, just from a point, like Cynthia just said, like Asian players, like it's understandable for them to go to MLS to China. Like Hulk is what, like practically 30 on that.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm not saying it's at the tail end of his career, but in a few years, like who knows? Like all it takes is one injury to sit you out for the rest of your career, and you're like forced to retire. It's happened before with guys in like their 20s. You can get some kind of an illness. You can get sick. You can get cancer. You never know what can happen.
But it depends on what club you're playing for, because we've seen that happen, and clubs still, like what happened with Malanda, the dude that died. I think it was his name, right? The guy that played for Wolfsburg. He
Malanda.
died, and I think Wolfsburg is still paying to this day his salary to the family. So it just depends on what club you're actually dealing with, with your injuries. I think it's fair for them to get that last paycheck, but they should avoid it as the most as they can.
Yeah, but Kevin wasn't talking about death though. He made a really good point about injury, because footballers obviously have a short career, and obviously if you get injured, you're still getting you won't get paid a lot. You'd be like, oh, what if I took that move to China? I would have been well off. But now Look at people, the English centre mid from Man City. He lost everything.
You could just protect yourself though.
There's only so much you can do.
But you're a footballer and you know how to protect your money, protect your investments. Don't just go ahead and waste money you should keep. That's why Ronaldo is a smart ass man. He's investing his money in hotels and stuff because he's not an idiot. He knows that like from a day to another you can just get an injury and he's
but that's easy for us to say as we're sitting here doing nothing. But when they're earning that money, it's much harder for them to be like, you know what, I'm going to save it.
But that's why you need a good, you need people to help you. Just like when Ronaldo,
you need like an accountant to help you,
or a manager like Alex Ferguson. That the first day that Ronaldo went to Man U, he blew all that money in one night, and then Alex Ferguson from that day on just took over him. It's players should go for that last paycheck. I don't disagree with that, but I think they need to do a better job of securing their finances.
Well, I mean, there's a chance that Diego Costa, who's arguably been the best striker in the world this season, leaves for China this season. So, I mean, normally you have like washed up, players pretty much about to just, turn off and just go for money. But he's actually producing at an elite level. So if that happens, and they already took Pato, who was having a great season at Villarreal.
I was surprised at that.
So it's converting to not just players who are washed up.
That's my point. That's what I was starting to say. They should avoid it the most as they can, so they can still play competitive football. Because if that's what they love doing, then just work on their finances and you'll be able to do that.
When does it start the season over there?
I need to actually start following Chinese.
In China,
they're like getting so many. Like
good players.
Like, yeah.
Pretty soon they'll be having like a TV market, but there's no way you can really watch it now. But I'm sure with all these big name players heading over there,
zones too,
Yeah, like you probably have to get up like 5 o'clock in the morning or 2 or 3.
I mean,
that's true.
Whenever they play like the Club World Cup, which is usually in like China, sometimes in Morocco, but like Japan too.
It's like 5 a.m.
So are people really going to like? Make themselves available to wake up at like 5.
No.
And even Europeans, waking up at like earlier hours. I don't think so.
Nah.
They might. If it's entertaining enough, they will. Well,
China's got enough people in it to make it a viable industry. I mean, it's look at how much fuel that economy's got. I mean, you can definitely convert that into something big there. So
it's still gonna be difficult, Emu.
Do you know that the Chinese Super League doesn't have any like foreign goalkeepers? I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, because there's like a rule that they like can't have any goalkeepers, and this has actually had positive consequences because their goalkeepers in the national team and just the clubs are very good because they are allowed time to develop without having like an old washed up goalkeeper that's still better than them come in and like replace them. So that's an interesting policy.
But all right, we moved off topic a little bit, but that's all right. Did we cover everything we wanted to about Porto here? Is there anything else that I missed? An injury, something?
No, you pretty much covered everything. Porto's better than Benfica. Now let's move on to Benfica.
You had to get in that shot just because.
Yes. Just because. Now me and Sam get to take a nap, but you guys talk about Benfica.
Yes. I'm pretty sure Sam's not gonna like this part. Benfica played Arouca, obviously. They beat them 3-0. Mitroglou scored twice, and Carrilho with a screamer. Ederson in goal, Nelson Semedo, Luizão Lindelof and Eliseu across the back. Feza and Pizzi in the midfield, Zivkovic and Carrilho out wide.
That was so funny.
And Mitroglou. It's funny because he just said, "Oh my god." I said it before the game, Carrilho, and I was happy to see that. And some people on Twitter actually make sense and said that he was being rewarded for his good performances coming off the bench. Can anybody else hear that noise?
Yeah, it's static.
Yeah, what's that?
That's because nobody wants to hear Benfica talk.
Okay, I think it's stopped. Okay, like I was saying, some people on Twitter are actually smart and were saying that Vitor was rewarding Carrillo for coming on well the previous 2 matches. So I had nothing against him starting. Again, he proved that he's starting to improve. But Hugo, I want you to. Oh wait, shit. No, yeah, I almost fucked that up.
Language.
Yeah, come on.
We're not PG. We
This
have
was
mature.
about to be a PG podcast until you effed it up.
Nah, because Kevin swore like in the
Of
beginning.
course, Kevin swore. He's
I didn't
from
say anything
Boston.
bad though. Peterson the hooligan trying to blame me. You see this?
Shut up, Seven.
Kevin's from Boston. He's gonna be swearing like once every 5 minutes.
It just happens now. Because I thought I didn't give out the lineups, and I was like, "Oh, the hell, I didn't give out the lineups?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did. Never mind." So that's what happened. Hugo, what are your thoughts on the game, man?
We played well. I think I was reading some comments on Facebook, because I always do when lineups come out, and everybody, I'm saying about 9 out of 10 comments were all about Carrillo saying, "Oh, why is he starting? He's not good enough." I know Carrillo's a good player, but he hasn't been that Carrillo that we saw at Sporting, especially in his last season. But he played very well that game. He deserved a goal. We just played really well. Mitroglou, he has 13 in 13 now, if you include the Champions League goal he just scored. So yeah, Zivkovic as well. I mean, that guy's crosses are
Brilliant.
his left foot is just brilliant. Although I still think, I know we won, but Pizzi, I'm a big fan of Pizzi. Last time I came on the podcast, my first time I came on, I was saying how Pizzi's an important player for Benfica. He is, but he needs a rest. And I don't even think he came off that game. Oh no, he came off
He
in like
did.
the 80th minute or something, innit?
Exactly, ridiculous. Yeah.
He should have came on. Should have came off like when it was 2-0 or something.
But he doesn't think he's tired. Sorry to cut you off, but I don't think he said yesterday after the Benfica game. He said that he is not tired. It's only a psychological thing.
Yeah,
I don't care. Then just bench him. Let him.
Yeah.
Just let him rest because he's been terrible.
Yeah.
Let's
I
think.
agree.
He was terrible against Boavista. He was terrible against Moreirense. He was terrible against.
What did you make of his
Setúbal.
performance against Dortmund?
He was useless against Dortmund.
He was terrible
Useless.
against Dortmund.
Dortmund
He's-
absolutely dominated. And
He
I mean,
gave-
that's partly due to Tuchel, but he was very poor.
He gave the
Yeah.
ball away 2 times, and Dortmund nearly counterattacked and scored.
Exactly.
Two crucial. You cannot lose the ball in positions like that.
But he's been
And-
doing that regularly. Like it's not even a Champions League thing.
Against-
He's been losing
against-
the ball.
Against Moreirense in Atassa, the amount of times we were out on the counter-attack. I remember one so clearly. I think it was Carrillo that was open on the left side, and Pizzi had the ball. Could have that quick counter-attack straight to Moreirense's player foot. Oh my God.
Several times. And it's ridiculous that we beat Arouca comfortably and he still managed to not do anything in that game.
Yeah. But yeah, we played well. Ederson's red card. Right. Now, I know, right,
Yes.
when Ederson, I need to, I was saying to Peter before we came on, we came live, I was saying how, you see, when in Dortmund, Ederson came out as well, and there could have been a foul on Dembele, and they didn't give it, because he missed the ball. Now I say he needs to stop coming out of his goal because it scares me.
That's what my dad said.
Literally against Dortmund, he did one where he caught it with his head and headed it out. I was behind the goal. My heart stopped. I was like, my God! Imagine he missed it. Imagine it went over his head. So he needs to stop coming out so much. Against Arouca, Mateus, we know Mateus is a fast player, the Arouca one. But Ederson got to the ball first. He cleared the ball, and then when he collided into Mateus, there was nothing he could do about it. It was going to happen. It was inevitable. Foul and a yellow, red card, harsh. I understand why the referee gave it. I'm not too angry about it.
You're asking Ederson to limit his own style. Ederson he's a sweeper keeper, okay?
I know, but do you know how scary it is for fans?
No matter what.
The amount of times. Because I remember for example, in the Taça da Liga final, we beat Marítimo 6-2. He came out of his goal, and Marítimo, they scored. They put it through. They chipped it over his head. I know we ended 6-2, but he did a mistake that game, and it cost us. He's good. He's very good. I love him, but when he comes out of goal, it scares me. But
Alright.
having said that,
Everyone
Julie
was saying
Cesar
the
is a very
same
good
thing,
goalkeeper
to
as
be
well.
fair.
So there's no
Yeah.
problem. Benfica have three good goalkeepers, and I'm fully confident. Why are you who's laughing?
Me?
Why are you laughing? You're laughing at Paul Lopes, isn't it?
Of course I'm laughing at Bob Lopes.
You're a disgrace.
He's not good, but whatever.
Yes, he
You gotta
is.
drop easy though, because I mean, look,
Yeah.
and you're
Well,
in
he
three
wa-
competitions too. I
He
mean,
won't be dropped for the Braga game. He won't be.
yeah, he definitely won't.
He's
Yeah.
gonna get a yellow card in that game, and we're finally gonna see football goals start.
You got
Please,
Agush
Lord.
and the new Rui Costa, so I mean, you got some options.
Yeah, and the next game after Braga, I think Benfica have Chaves, and that's a really hard game as well.
Ah,
I
and
know
we're
we're
gonna
at
play
home.
Yeah.
Porto soon as well.
That's
We're
a
at
really
home
tough
for that
two
game,
games.
but that will be hard. And I can guarantee you, Pizzi will be yellow carded against Braga.
I hope
Semedo
so.
as well. Semedo's in risk as well.
But that's we'll see. It's at home,
But
so
with Pizzi's drying up in his form, can we say that Semedo has been Benfica's best player this season? Because he just
yeah,
Yes.
consistently
by far.
keeps on producing.
World-
he's-
I thought he was world
I-
class against Dortmund.
Yeah.
He's the best young right back in the world. That's
Yeah.
all there is to say. I mean,
It's
he's levels ahead of Isai and Bellerin at this point. He's so good.
And I said it a couple podcasts ago, and some guy tweeted at me. Nothing against you, man, by the way, if you're listening. Saying that he's only plays against the small clubs. And I said, listen, he played against Bayern Munich. He didn't really notice for Douglas Costa or Robin or Ribery, whatever the hell they would put on that side. We just saw the Dortmund game. We saw it against Atletico Madrid. Consistently, he plays well. And there's no one faster than him. Royce didn't do a thing in that game. And he's probably still one of the best wingers in the world, you know. So Nelson Smith at this point is one of the best right backs in the world at this point. So just to get into the Ederson thing, at first I thought it was like a good decision. I went through phases on that one. First, I thought it was a good decision. I thought it was a red. But then I started thinking that what people were telling me, he couldn't move his feet. And I agree because it's a dangerous tackle, yeah, but he gets to the ball first. So when are we going to draw the line that if he gets the ball first, it's not a foul? If he still gets the ball but hits the player, it's still a foul? What are we going to do?
Okay, let me just go in and take a header and swipe you with my elbow. I got to the ball first. Let me go slide and studs up and break your leg. I got to the ball first.
Punch you in the face as long as you get the ball first.
Yeah, as long as you get the ball first, right, Sam?
It's happened before. I mean, look, Maxi against the Guimarães had a brilliant tackle, but right after that he hit the player. But I mean, and it was a dangerous tackle, but he still got the ball. He cleared the ball. So,
but you're talking about a studs challenge, Peter.
But he gets the ball
it don't matter. Okay, let me go in studs up. Get the ball and break your legs, Peter. What are you gonna say?
Can't have it all.
Calm down, Kevin. If you're a goalkeeper, what do you do in that situation?
What do?
Don't you
Trust
run
your defenders.
Don't lift your leg. Just run right into the player. You run right into the player. It's 50-50.
So foul him? So basically what you're telling me is foul him?
You're going to foul him anyway. If you're going to foul him, don't get a red.
If you're a goalkeeper, you're kicking that ball away. It's not his fault that he can't move his feet to pull himself from not hitting the guy. And at first, I thought the referee made a great decision. Let the play go on. His lineman says no, it's a red card and it's a foul. That's where the issues begin. I think the referee made the right decision. Worst case scenario, he gives out a foul and a yellow card. I think the red card, I mean, I can understand it, but I don't agree with it. And I think that we need to draw a line between, because you can injure somebody from getting the ball and it not being a foul. It can happen.
If that was Casillas or Patricio, you'd be singing a different tune.
Do you remember what Neuer did against Higuain in the World Cup final? He literally gave him a concussion, dude. I mean, when you're a sweeper keeper, that's always going to be your style. You can't just tell him to cut back on it. You can try to perfect it. You can try to, make it more accurate, but you can't tell him to cut down on that. I'm sorry.
Oh, he needs to watch his feet.
He made a good point with the Neuer one. I think
it's still a red for me.
For me too.
Fair enough. I'm just saying.
The only reason why I would say it's red, the stud's up, and that is like, imagine if it was a little further down. That could have broken his leg. Let's
But
be
how
honest.
how can he shoot the ball differently? He kicked the ball. How do you kick the ball differently?
I don't know. That's not my problem. That's not the rules. Like, it's not the rules, is it?
It's not physically.
A starts up challenge, Peter.
It's not
That's
a
a red.
challenge. He got the ball. He
came with the studs,
ball.
Peter.
He
Because
came with
he
the studs
shot the
and then hit
ball.
him with the studs. So how is
I
that
want to
not a
play
stud
Peter one
challenge?
day. Like, I wish I could play him in real life, and I'm just gonna give him the dirtiest tackle with the studs up. I'm gonna tell him, "Sorry, Peter, I got the ball first."
He kicked the ball.
Break his leg in 3 places.
Oh my god. Whatever.
Break your kneecaps.
I can see, and I agree that it's a very, it is a very hard foul. Like he hit the guy, and it's, but I don't think it's worth the red. But anyway,
Do you know what? Wait, just before we finish this thing on Edison, do you know what I think you should do, Peter? Yeah, for the next following podcast, I think you should find someone on Twitter, maybe a young guy about 20 years old who's studying to become a referee, or he's refereeing young kids, yeah, and have him on the podcast, and he will deal with all these things seriously. So we don't have to say anything about any red cards, any fouls. Seriously, find someone that will end
What
it.
if he likes
Podcast
vouchers?
referee.
oh my god, what did you just say, Zach?
Just get like an official referee expert for PTFooty podcast.
Yes,
Exactly,
yes,
get it
yes.
That'd be cool.
Get it done, people.
Get it done.
Any non-Benfica refs out there that want to come on?
Nah,
More than welcome.
it can't be a Benfica fan because you're just gonna say he's biased. So
I was gonna say my dad for then. Yeah.
nah, no. I could say my dad too. So nah. We'll leave it.
Get like a Boavista or an Aruca fan. It's like not biased.
That's like impossible to find. Well, Vista fans are Benfica fans as well, by the way.
We just get a foreign referee, like they should do in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna solve the issues at this point.
Look,
It will help.
We just seen. Yeah, Zach, you're just gonna say that.
Ederson's borderline world class. I mean, he's kind of beyond slander at this point. He's so good. I'm just surprised that how much better he's become this season.
He can do it all in the three phases as well. He's good coming out of his goal.
Yeah.
He's good at
with his feet
inside the
Great
the
shot
post.
stopper.
He's good at everything. So I'm sure he's not going to go for 60 million, but that's like that's where he should go.
How much Buffon cost? I don't think he'll break the Buffon record, but I think he'll break Neuer's.
He should break it because it's a different time now. It's a different time.
Yeah.
Like Ronaldo cost like 16 million. I think it was something like that. So,
which one?
But he's a great Cristiano, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Not talking about Ronaldo, that guy. Okay, so my thoughts on the game real quick. I thought that if Ederson didn't get sent off, it would have probably been like 6-0. Seriously, because Benfica were in control the whole game. I thought Eliseu coming on finally was good. He needs to keep playing. Way better than Andre Almeida. Pizzi needs to be dropped at one point because I don't care what he says. He needs to rest. He just needs to, because he's not that guy that can play every 3 days.
He's not born with an immaculate engine. Like maybe
he's not like
Renato,
Enzo Perez.
Yeah, or like Renato,
So he needs to take his time and he needs to recover more than others. So, Zivkovic. I mean, I'm lost for words for this man at this point. I'm just gonna say that Benfica have a big chance of going through with Dortmund, and he's gonna be key in that.
Jonas as well. People might say he doesn't play good against big teams.
Is playing the second leg as well?
Yeah. He'll be back.
Good.
So, because what I think is like what Dortmund had with Rafael Guerreiro, even though they didn't score from any set pieces, they had a great set piece specialist, and we had Pizzi. And I know he scored from a corner, but I rate Zivkovic's corners way more than Pizzi's. So I think we're going to have a bigger chance of scoring from set pieces, especially because Dortmund is just terrible at defending. So,
True.
Easy win for Benfica. Nothing really much to say. Carrillo with a tremendous game, and let's move on to the final game of today's podcast. So obviously Benfica beat Borussia Dortmund, like we've said, 1-0. Mitroglou with the goal, Luizão with the assist on his 500th game for Benfica. Ederson was in goal, Semedo, Luizão, Lindelof, and Luizão across the back, Feza and Pizzi in the midfield, Salvio and Carrillo out wide, Rafa behind Mitroglou because Jonas picked up a knock. Hugo, I'm going to start with you. Tell us about everything. How was the stadium atmosphere? How were the fans feeling? How was the whole thing? The tifo that I thought was beautiful. What did you think?
Amazing. The atmosphere was brilliant. I was just behind the goal when Mitroglou scored, so I was near the no-name boys. Literally because I have photos on Facebook if you like, just check them out. It was brilliant. I didn't actually, I wasn't holding up the little things to do the choreography because I was recording it. It was brilliant. And I was actually kind of disappointed at the Dortmund fans because they didn't actually put on a show like they always do. So we did good in keeping them quiet. But yeah, it was a brilliant day. Met up with my friends, and I said, right, I'm coming to Lisbon. I spent this amount of money and I'm not going home with a defeat. Thank God I didn't. But if it was a draw, I wouldn't be too angry. But we won, and without conceding goals, that's what I'm happy about. The game, Benfica didn't play well. I'm not blind. I wear glasses, but I'm not stupid. We played. We didn't play well. We took that chance. I had an interview to Benfica TV. I told you, Peter. I said Benfica were going to win 1-0 and Luizão was going to score. It was his header, but Mitroglou was there. I was close.
You were on BTV?
I was on BTV, yeah.
Do you have it recorded? I got to see this.
No, my friend took a picture and he put it on Facebook, but I can probably tell him, because you can go back and watch stuff from days before. I know, Peter, you said you can do that on your TV. Then maybe you can try and find it.
If somebody knows the time, I'll do it. It's easier to find it that way.
Was it after the game or before?
Like if it's 7:30.
No, it was just before. It was about 5:36, just before.
So yeah.
What are you gonna do, you're gonna laugh at me.
All right, but that's all right. So great atmosphere.
Brilliant.
Not great game.
No. We just took our chance well. And huge Ederson in goal.
So
amazing.
I need to point this out. I'd already talked to you before we came live, but you noticed that Carrillo put in a lot more work than Rafa in the stadium.
I knew because the Benfica TV lady before the game, she told me what starting 11 I'd put. And I got all of them right apart from Rafa because I knew Jean was going to play if he was fit. So I wasn't surprised it was Rafa. If it's not Jean, it had to be Rafa. And he was terrible. I have the newspapers with me, and it said how Rafa, he got the ball 3 times, near the Dortmund box, lost it all 3 times. Didn't do anything. He got the worst match rating from Benfica. And I understand why Rui Vitória took Carrillo off. But Carrillo actually was helping. He was actually tracking back. He was helping Eliseu. He had a very nice... he did a nice skill move. He passed. I can't remember the player now. I don't know if it was Batra. I'm not sure. Or Derm. What was that right back? Yeah, Derm or whatever his name is.
It was either him or Piszczek.
Yeah, it was one of them. He was actually playing all right. Servi came on. No, Filipe Augusto, sorry. And then second half, I think Rui Vitória spoke to the team at halftime. He said, right.
They made adjustments.
We actually came in. First 5 minutes, I think Benfica were trying to look for the goal because we went to Dortmund's goal about 3 times just before we scored. And we're actually just trying to get that goal quickly. We got the goal early. I think that's exactly what Rui Vitória wanted. As soon as that ball went in, boom, everything back. We didn't risk the second goal. And I preferred Benfica to actually try and attack to go for the second goal. But end of the day, 1-0, still a win.
And we take the advantage.
Exactly.
Benfica, so.
Exactly. Just not conceding goals. I think that's just what Rui Vitória wanted. Even if we drew 0-0, he probably would have said after the game, fine, I'm happy with that, yeah. Because that's what we wanted. First 5 minutes of the second half, we were actually very good. I even saw it after when I came home, commentators saying, Benfica playing much more better. Felipe Augusto helping out in the midfield, like more muscle in the midfield.
Dude's good. Dude's good. He's looking poised. But some people make the discussion if you want to play at home or away the first leg, and I say, in my point of view, I want to play at home every time the first leg, because if you can control them and you don't let the opponent score, you know that all you need is a goal away, and basically you have the tie in your hands. So Benfica did that. We even got a goal. So if we score once in Dortmund, they need to score twice against us. And
3 times. That's what Tuchel said. He said if we concede, we have to score 3 times.
But two do take it to extra time. So, wait, is it? Yeah, no. You're right.
I heard. If we lose 2-1, we still go through.
Yeah, we do, because we have the away goal. So there you go. So they need to score 3 times if we score once.
So we have to score first. That's what we need to do. Score first.
Yeah. And I also felt like Benfica, and this is not a shot at Sporting, Sam, first and foremost. I saw this from Thiago, the guy that went with Tom to the game. I'm not sure if you guys follow him. I think it's Thiago Estevão or something like that. I don't remember your name. Sorry, but the one that you were talking to, Zach.
Oh yeah.
So he said that Benfica got absolutely destroyed. We did. End of the day, we won though. But he said that Benfica would have not won this game with JJ, because we got completely outclassed.
Oh, definitely not.
And if JJ was managing Benfica, we would have lost that game easily. So I just wanted to point that out. That's what he said. Not
Leave
me.
Ocho alone.
Chenchiocho.
And guess what time Casillas made the first save?
88.
There you go.
Chenchiocho.
But yeah, Zach, what did you think of the game?
Well, I thought the best performers on 2 best performers on Benfica for me were Nelsinho and Ederson, and on Dortmund, I would say Weigl and Bartra. But I think that
surprising, because they don't really like Bartra.
I know.
Well, I mean, he's a good player. He's just poor defensively. He's doing well because he has like no other competition, pretty much. So it allows him time to grow. But yeah, Dortmund totally dominated. Honestly, I mean, PZ got just destroyed. I liked what I saw of Augusto. I mean, I never really liked him at Valencia. I thought he was too erratic, but could be a key player, I think. And I believe you said Carrero was better defensively than Rafa, right?
Yeah, every part of it.
I mean, I think Rafa's a better player than Carrero, but obviously, I mean, and I think Rafa was wanted to be more deployed as a second striker.
Which he was. Yeah. But even when he moved to the wing to do the Carrillo role, he still didn't do it as well as him. It was getting 2-on-1 like a lot of times, and it was Feza that had to go and help him out, while Rafa just had a bad game. I mean, everybody has bad games.
Yeah, but ideally you don't want to be like pinned back for pretty much the entire game. I mean, look, Benfica, they had one shot, right? They literally scored like their one shot. Benfica are a top side. I know that they're comfortable with sitting back, and I mean, the guy who wrote the preview for Breaking Lines on Benfica said that Dortmund was Carlitos. He was they were gonna have like a lot of possession, and Benfica would have to sit back and counter, and they did just that. So it was a fine game plan. I would say that Ederson came up huge and probably added like maybe another 15 million to his price tag. So good result for Benfica, for sure. But Aubameyang and just the attackers were so poor.
Good.
It was especially Aubameyang. When he missed that first sitter, I was like, how the hell did he miss that? I was like, that was 1-0 for sure. And by the way, I do want to point out that 50% of the goalkeepers don't save that penalty. I'm just saying.
Yeah, loads of people said how it was a terrible penalty, but
Which it was.
if Ederson dived the wrong way, they would say, "Oh,
Yeah.
what a cool penalty by Aubameyang! Completely tricked the goalkeeper." Ederson
Exactly.
stood his ground. I think it was,
He did.
yeah.
It was a good save, I think, because it was a terrible penalty. But I was actually talking to my friend, and he's a Porto fan. He was also a goalkeeper, and I was talking to him, and we both agreed that 50% of the goalkeepers would have not saved that because
But-
they would have just chosen a side.
The way Aubameyang was playing that game, you had a feeling he's gonna miss. It kind of reminds me. Look what I'm going to bring up. It kind of reminds me when Portugal played Austria in the Euro, when Ronaldo had a terrible game, and we had that penalty, and the face that he had, you knew that, oh, this is going to go wrong, and he hit the post. He missed. That was like Aubameyang. The game was going completely wrong. Tried to trick our goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper's not stupid. Well, that's it. That's what I related to. I think Edison, thumbs up, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from Edison here.
Mm.
He had a great
Yeah.
game, but I think he shouldn't have been on that pitch. He kicked Dembele,
There we
and
go.
that should have been a red card.
Red card. You are harsh.
Because that.
Nah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he wasn't last man.
Okay, maybe not a red, but at least a foul and a yellow.
Yeah, okay. He wasn't last man. I think it was Samir that was next to him, or Elisio.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't last man,
He
and
wasn't
it was
the last man,
yeah,
and it was
and it was-
out. It was outside the box as well.
Yeah, it was just on the edge. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how did the fourth official and the linesman not see that? They were both right
They
there.
probably saw. It goes with the same thing that what Sergio posted of the penalty, the handball that Robin, asked that it was, like in the Arsenal game. The linesman and the fourth official saw it, like the what do you call it? The goal line ref? I don't what.
Yeah,
It's just a fifth official. That's what they're called.
Okay.
Well,
That official, he saw the penalty. He just didn't
What?
think it was one. So maybe the referee interpreted it that way and didn't tell Rizali to call it because he felt like it wasn't a foul. I don't know.
just thought Dembele dived.
I don't know. Maybe it's such a quick play on the pitch that he might have thought that. I don't know.
Yeah.
You have a good point. So probably a foul and a yellow. I think a red is too harsh though.
It's been given before, but again,
It is.
nothing taken away from Edison. He had a quality game, so fair play to him.
Yeah.
Better than Patricio.
I'm not going that far.
At least he won the league.
At least Patricia has won an international competition.
Oh, it's just a matter of time before Edison wins something with Brazil.
That's what I told them, but
We'll see.
We'll see.
I didn't laugh. I just said we'll see.
Yeah. The Brazilian people are already saying how Edison's going to be the one to win the 6th World Cup with
He's
Brazil.
better than Alisson.
If he goes to Brazil,
He's better than every Brazilian goalkeeper at the moment. Allison,
why
who's
can't we
the other
try to
one?
get him?
Jefferson, rubbish.
What?
Why can't we try to get Edison?
Because he already said he wants to play for Brazil. I mean, it's highly unlikely that he'll.
He has Portuguese nationality
Yes,
though already,
he can
hasn't
play
he?
for Portugal. Yes.
Yeah, and Lopez is fine too. I mean,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Lopez.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting how this was considered like the weakest matchup going into the first week, and yet it's the only matchup where the second leg is actually going to be interesting. Cause
Yeah,
Bayern,
very
of
true.
course, already won.
Very
PSG
true.
definitely won. Madrid have already won. I mean, this is the only one that really matters.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is true. But yeah, so overall we can say Benfica didn't have a good game, but they played their own
I'm not
Champions
sure.
League style.
Yeah.
We played in our own Champions League way. It's not fashionable. It's not nice to
Exactly.
see, but he gets the job done.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, it was everything it was expected to be. I think that both Benfica and Dortmund are great teams, but they're not at the top level, you know? But
Yeah.
they're great at what they do, and they have their own weaknesses. Benfica, they've got this steel trap defending, and maybe just, they got that grinta in them. Dortmund has poor defending, but they'll run your midfield over any day. So this was always going to be two clashing ideals, two clashing philosophies.
Good point.
And it just so happened that Benfica got the better of them. But I definitely think it could be a different story going into Dortmund in next leg in March.
All right. So if anybody wants to hop in on this, anything else you guys want to talk about this game? I think pretty much covered it, but
Yeah, I have something to add real quick.
I think I know. Go ahead.
What?
No.
What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I'm smarty
I
pants.
think that you're gonna say that Benfica didn't score enough goals against the bad Dortmund side.
Well, that too, but that's not actually what I was gonna say. So next time you sit and you listen, Peterson, and be patient, Mr. Smarty Pants. Now that, so was it Wolves that were gonna sign Luizão?
Yeah,
Supposedly,
apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I remember back then, all the Benfica fans were saying, they should let him retire.
I still want him
Yes,
to retire.
yeah.
Now they're saying he's a beast.
I still don't want him to renew with Benfica. I had a very, very good game. I thought he was really into the zone. I think that he was like, this is my 500th game. I'm getting away with this with a clean sheet. He played really, really well. He played his heart out. If he played like that every week, I wouldn't be saying that. But he hasn't played that way for 2 years now. That's why I want him to retire. I want him to go away as a great.
Luizão is our most experienced player.
Yeah.
I
Do
knew
you
he
guys
had to
think
play
that
this
he
game
should
against
start over
Dortmund.
Jardel?
Jardel he's not fit at all. He played against Moreirense and was useless.
Everybody was useless in that game. Don't blame him.
And Kevin, you can't put me in that bag with saying bad stuff about Luizão.
No, he's
Peter,
always,
always defended Luizão.
Yeah, he always had.
I'm sorry. Let me
legend.
rephrase. Some Benfica fans, not all.
Much better.
I am part of that. I am part of that crew, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I hope that it's Crow and that he plays the rest of the season brilliantly. I think he's had a poor season and a half, and I still want him to retire at the end of the year because I think that he's past his prime. Past his prime.
He's gonna start every game, and only if he gets injured this season.
I'll take it just as long as this is the last season he starts.
No, he's gonna renew his contract.
Jardel comes back.
I don't want him. Yeah.
When Jardel gets back, do you want him to start over?
He's already back. That's the point. I want him to start over Luizão. Yes.
Not fit.
Yeah, there's some discrepancy there whether he's fit or not fit. So.
Nope.
I play Jardel any day over Luizão. He's younger, and he's probably going to be just as good as him, if not better. And Lindelof is much better with. Lindelof is a much better player with Jardel because he's playing on the right
Luizão
side
and
of the
Lindelof
field.
yesterday were amazing.
But Lindelof always surprises himself in the European ties. You didn't see Lewandowski twice against us, so that's also due to him. But the
Jardel
fact
is turning 31 next season, by the way. He's no young prospect.
Exactly. That's why he needs to play over Luizão. Luizão is 37, so just
he's in his prime.
Leave Luizão alone. #legend.
He's a legend. I still want him to retire at the end of the year. But
he's renewing his contract. Did you not see it on BTV? He was.
And I don't want him to. I just
don't.
don't.
Shut up, man.
Whatever. I'm
Just be
allowed to have my
grateful to
opinion.
him, Peter.
Luizão would have signed
It works
a
if
renewal
it's a
ages ago
Harry
with me.
situation, But still,
it's
you can't
Zach
have
gets
him
my point of view.
starting, I think.
Exactly. Zach's got my point of view. So is that it?
Yeah, that's basically all the Benfica talk. You guys can save it for later for the Benfica podcast. I think they're on today, so.
Yeah. All right. So do you mind if I run the lineups real quick? Because I know that we're short on time. So the results and all that. Do you mind if I do that? So then
Go ahead, Peterson. Whatever floats your boat.
Okay. So real quick first, I'm gonna let you go. People, or the guy that actually I think is Louis. Sorry, I don't know. He's a PSG fan. If you want Zach's opinion on Gage, just go four podcasts ago. We talk about him. Hugo, real quick. What do you think is Gage's preferred role? I think he's the center forward. And what are his biggest shortcomings? Just
Gage,
real quick, if you can give out your.
I'll just say what I think of Gage as a player quickly then. Gage, for me, centre forward. He's good as a right mid as well, but centre forward, he's been brilliant. Loads of people are saying Mitroglou is not good with Jonas, but him and Gage actually were playing well. I remember perfectly that game against Guimarães when Gedge scored both goals. Gedge is good. He pressures the defense. He runs everywhere. He knows how to
High
release.
engine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He needs to work on maybe releasing the ball a bit more because he doesn't look
Mhm.
up. That's what he needs to work on. But he was good. He came on for PSG against Monaco straight away in a derby. Actually played decent. About 7 minutes, and he had 3 good, good plays with the ball. Gedge is a good player. He's smart. He's young. Has a huge future. That's all I can say, to be honest. And I'm actually going to miss him. When we lost
I think
against Stubble.
we already missed him in this game.
Yeah,
I
when we
felt.
lost against Stubble and everything, people were saying the man who would have changed this game, Gedge, he would have changed this game. He would have helped Mitroglou up there. Jarnaj is still not in that form, and Gedge was on
And he's
fire.
never
He was
that player.
scoring. Exactly.
So
Gedge would have helped. Would have helped a lot, and Gedge would have been very good against Dortmund now.
yeah,
Very
so
good.
Gedge, high engine, very good shot. Needs to release the ball a bit
Oh
more
yeah,
and
very
pass
good shot
better,
as well.
and can't get caught up with the ball in his feet. That he does that sometimes, but that's basically.
I wouldn't say he's a better prospect than Gelson or Ziv.
No, because they're different as well.
Yeah, that is
So
true.
I think that
Personally, I prefer. I don't want to try to be biased. I think Gelson is brilliant. Gelson, fantastic player. My favorite player from Sporting at the moment.
Same.
But Gedge, for me, turns up big games. He scored against Atletico Madrid. He scored against Besiktas. He scored against Napoli. And all 3 goals, if you check, 3 golas. 3 golas. Atletico Madrid, Napoli, Besiktas went round the keeper. The guy is quality. Gelson still hasn't scored in European competition. I think he scored against Skenderbeu or someone, but But Gelson quality player, but Gedge for me.
Yeah, Gedge. If you're looking to
It's
just
different positions as well.
exactly, that's what I was gonna say. If you want Gedge to strive, put him as a center forward. Don't play him on the wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
His best position is definitely center forward because he
Yeah.
can't really dribble, which is I think one of his biggest weaknesses. And his touch is kind of poor, so I would say he's best as a center forward. But those are some of his weaknesses, just kind of clunky technically.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. All right, so let me get on with the results here. Sorry, Kevin. I'm a bit fast around this. So Benfica beat Aroca 3-0. Tondela lost to Feirense 1-0. Vitória, Setúbal and Chaves tied 0-0. Estoril beat Paços de Ferreira 2-1. Guimarães lost 2-0 to Porto. Nacional tied Belenenses. Moreirense lost to Sporting 2-3. And Boa Vista Braga was a tie. So was Rio Ave Marítima. 2 draws. The rankings are Benfica in first place, 51 points. Porto in second with 50. Sporting in third with 41 points. Braga in fourth with 38. Guimarães in fifth with 35 points. Marítima in sixth with 32. Chaves 29. Setúbal 28. Aroca 27. Boa Vista 26. Belenenses 25. Feirense 25. Paços de Ferreira 20, Estoril 19, Moreirense 18, and the final 2 is now with 14, and Tondela with 14 as well. In the second division, real quick.
You could just do the score that mattered the most. Santa Clara won today 2-1.
I was going to say. Santa Clara won.
2-0.
Form have dropped massively, though.
Varzim won. Porto B won.
Wait, hang on. Just skip to where Sporting is. Just tell us where Sporting is.
I was gonna say Sporting lost to Varzim, Porto won against Penafiel, and Benfica lost to Académico Viseu. Obviously, Santa Clara beat Cova da Piedade. All right, rankings. Portimonense first with 60, Aves second with 53, Académica third with 44, Varzim fourth with 44, Santa Clara fifth with 42, Benfica B sixth, 41. Porto 17th in the playoff relegation, whatever thing. Porto 30.
Tied.
Yeah, Porto 32, Friamundo 31, Académico Viseu 31, Leixões 30, Sporting 21st in the league with 27 points, and Olhanense dead last with 18 points.
You're a bastard, you know that?
So
Throw in Family Cowan there with Faf, because they're tied with Porto B, prick.
Yeah, but
You
whatever.
have to
Yeah.
put Porto B to make it sound better, right? Jerk.
Famalicão in Porto B 32 points, Friamundo 31, Académico Viseu 31, Leixões 30, Sporting B 27, Olhanense 18.
Sporting B, so embarrassed they just sacked their manager.
Yeah, and the Geraldes played for them as well, I think. So
yep, he did both of them.
yeah, I want to thank Hugo and Zach for coming on.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Before we wrap up, can I just say one more point? I
Real
just forgot
quick.
to mention it. So, happy birthday to Rui Patricio, Euro winner.
Oh my God.
One of the clutch players in
12th best
Euros.
player in world football.
Like, happy birthday to Lizon. That was his birthday like 2 days ago. So there you go.
Yes, happy birthday, Rui Patricio, but Edison's still better than you.
All right. So next week, I believe that Kevin won't be able to be on. And if he isn't, we already have Zach in for next week as well. So tune in to that. We'll be back on Wednesday because Porto play on Wednesday. So we'll be on right after the Porto game against Juventus. Once again, thank you, Zach. Thank you, Hugo, for coming on.
Thank you.
We'll
Yes,
see
thank you.
guys next week. Ciao.
Yeah.
I won't because I won't be able to make it. Peace out, everybody.
Happy